reforms were challenged in the courts, and in 2006, the Supreme Court of Nigeria gave a judgment clearly stating that, even though by then Nigeria had been restored to office, but it lashed the Obasanjo administration and said that under no circumstances will the emergency provisions in Section 305 be used to remove any elected official. That is the law. The Supreme Court has spoken. No legislation or constitutional amendment has changed that. So that is the law. No person or authority can remove an elected official, whether governor, deputy governor, or member of the legislature, without going through the due process of law. In the case of governor, by impeachment. In the case of legislators, through recall. Those are the only ways you can remove an elected person. You cannot tamper with the mandate of the people under Section 305 of the Constitution. The Supreme Court has spoken, and it's very, very clear. What President Tinubu has done is violently unconstitutional and unlawful. Our hope is that the National Assembly will, for once today, this National Assembly, that everyone accuses of being overstaffed, will at least for once stand with the people of Nigeria.
Fire. Unfortunately, right, they are late to the party. It is now approved. And therefore, the sole administrator sent to Rivers State officially has resumed work. And Tinubu, in the face of this Nigeria law, has committed no crime. But how or where do you think Nigeria is headed? This lady, Yemi, in shock when she heard that the House of Rep passed or approved the declaration of state of emergency by voice votes. She was alarmed.
I'm at the airport in Abuja, and I wish I wasn't leaving Abuja right now. But this is absolutely ridiculous. We suspended Natasha, we suspended Fubara, and this government just suspended the Constitution. The Constitution has clear provisions for the National Assembly to approve a state of emergency. The House of Rep doesn't have quorum. They voice voted. Are they mad? Are they mad? Look, all of you there, you better start calling your House of Rep member and your senator and your governor, because the rate we are going, these people who want to burn this country down. Let them come. Let them come from you. My name is Okoyemi Adamolekun, and I stand by this because all of you.
Showeretu has added his own voice. I mean, the state of anarchy that the APC brews, when is it going to really explode? The implosion we have been talking about.
All right, Mr. Shore, well, we're just doing our job, just like you were doing your job. We're doing our job. Good, bad, and ugly is our job to report everybody. Report the event, report the persons, cover as much as you can, which is what you did at a very, very high level before you left to pursue your ambition of being president. So let's begin to coast home on this particular issue. So in your view, two questions in one, if you can. What is the way forward? But that's one question on the conundrum we're seeing that is playing out in Rivers State. At least a solution that can bring peace, because at the end of the day, we can argue about Wike, the FCT minister, the action of the president, whether Fubara was reckless, according to some people, or not. We can put up all that debate. What is important is the people of Rivers State are the ones suffering right now. So in your books, where you sit, what is the way forward at the end of the day? Because solution is what everybody is speaking to right now.
Yes, let me make a clarification once again that I'm not here to defend Fubara. Fubara is also an enabler of evil. If Fubara hadn't existed under Wike, Wike would not have gotten away with some of the crimes that he got away with, stealing money in Rivers State. That's very clear. Fubara was declared wanted for stealing billions before he was packaged to become the governor of Rivers State. this is part of the results that we're seeing. They're the ones who enabled Wiki. I'm speaking on behalf of due process. I'm speaking on, on the side of the people of Rivers State, whose resources have been hijacked by sole administrator, by these Abuja cabals. So that's what I am. But in terms of solution, my solution is very simple. The people of this country must gather their arms together, hold it tight, and liberate themselves by all means necessary. It is very clear that this will be going through these circles of, mismanagement of our resources, of our integrity, of oppression, if we don't do something about it. And probably that is why you noted that I've been very calm this morning, because maybe if I change my demeanor, more people can understand that I'm not just angry, but I want this country to really, really prosper and be peaceful and make progress, just like even some of our small African countries are doing. I saw last week there are 10 top African countries that are doing well in terms of economic development and making democratic progress. Nigeria is not one of them. Seychelles, one of these small islands, is one of them. Mauritius is one of them. South Africa is there. These are countries that we used to assist, with handouts some 30, 40 years ago. They're doing better than we do, and that's what concerns me. And we're not going to be talking about solutions in a roundabout manner, what is called roundaboutism. It's not the solution they provide, the solution we want that we should continue to provide, no matter how hard it is.
And the people must be always the center point of any agitation, as I would say, or revolution. Pastor Abi Prophet Buba speaks along that same line of that of wherever is pretty much like more explicit in his own position concerning this whole matter. Like, is it now? Is it time now? When are the people really going to really burst out and say they've had enough? When exactly is the revolution going to happen? How is it going to happen? Right? So the part of the men of God, right? Here is Prophet Buba.
Well, welcome to the new season. I want to speak passionately. I'm grateful for the responses of Nigerians all over the world. I have come at this moment to say to you, what happened in the declaration of the state of emergency, we all know it's illegal, constitutionally, it's unconstitutional. But like Isaac would say to his son, and I'm giving you this example as a priest, as an intercessor, and as God's prophet, there is about to be a move that is going to save us as a people. But until we are tired of the yoke these people have placed on our neck and we break it, we will never be free. We will never be free. We will never be free. Let me give you another example about the children of Israel. They were in bondage. A king came and began to oppress them badly. The people rose up, cry out. The Bible says their cry came to God. If they did not cry, they would have continued in bondage. Their cry came up, and based on their cry, they mobilized themselves. Freedom came. Deliverance came. It happened in the time of Esther. The entire Jewish nation were going to be exterminated. But then Mordecai led it, and then Esther. And he said, if you don't rise up at this time, then you will see what will happen. She arose. Everybody went into fasting, but it did not stop there. They fasted, they prayed, and she acted. And the whole nation of a tribe were set free, that the Jewish are still existing. Nigerians, please, we are not calling anybody to go on violent or no. Let's all gather together and speak to our leaders. They are our leaders, but we must demand accountability. I mean, nobody has bewitched us that we cannot speak out. This is unconstitutional. The president can tell Wike now. Wike is the brain behind what is going on in Rivers State. That is just it. Call black, black, call white, white. I don't care whatever it is. You may say, well, Governor Fubara didn't keep the covenant they had before and all of that. Keep that. Whatever he has done, whatever Fubara has done, he is a sitting governor. So he should be allowed to govern. He should be allowed to govern. He should be allowed to govern. And we, as a people, democracy is under threat. The devil is coming on to bring some commotion to Nigeria. We cannot allow it. Mr. President, reverse what you have done. Even from your statement, you can see that you've taken side. The person who is behind the whole crisis in Rivers is there under you, called Wike. Can you bring him to order, Mr. President, sir? Bring him to order, and this nonsense will stop. Can we, for the first time as a people, do what is right to save ourselves? I come to you as God's servant.
I write. So that you can say you didn't hear from the men of God, Abi. At least that is one, and he's been very consistent as well. He has been. He has been rather. So maybe we should leave a pastor and listen to a professor.
Nigeria has now become very laughable under the APC administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, we have seen the coup that took place in Rivers State. The government was overthrown. The governor was restrained by the army. Himself and his families were restrained, just like the other coup that took place in Africa, where they will now keep the president and his families indoor and incommunicado. You know, we saw what happened in Gabon and all of that. So you see, apart from overthrowing the governor of Rivers State and suspending the house, Tinubu became silent on the issue of Wike, Nyesom Wike, the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, who Tinubu has been using as a destructive element, both within the PDP and in Rivers State. He refused to suspend Wike intentionally. And that is an expression of the desperate pursuit for self-interest. The Supreme Court said that, money should not be released because there was no legislature in Rivers State. Now, money will be released despite the fact that there will be no legislature with the appointment of a sole administrator. These are contradictions. Now, the law says that the National Assembly has to affirm the overthrow of the Rivers State government. But before the Senate sat down, they have not even affirmed. Tinubu has sworn in his sole administrator, who is an old-time accomplice or acquaintance of Wike, without waiting for the Senate to approve the overthrow. He now swore the man in. These are contradictions of the Nigerian Constitution, and they are all impeachable offenses. We must blame PDP for all of these things. They ought to have expelled Wike for a long time ago, but they were too naive to do that. And that is why you see the Rivers State of today. For Wike, if they don't do what he wants, it will destroy the PDP. For Rivers State, if Fubara does not do what he wants, he will destroy the state. Because it's about him and him alone. All of these things will not continue in Nigeria. That was a coup. That was a military coup. Military took over in the entire state, in the entire Rivers State. Tinubu did not see any worthy civilian to appoint as an administrator if he must. But he now went to pick an ex-military officer in a democratic era. That is the militarization of democracy. So, the military, so Tinubu is now introducing coup into Nigeria. The military are now being invited through the back door. So, this is the democracy. Huh.
Yes, it is. In case if anybody is still sleeping, right? And hoping this is actually one bad dream, that once you wake up, you're going to forget about it. Yes, it is real. It is. And for your information, I agree that that is a civilian coup mixed with military administrator. I don't know, like, that's what happened. And that one has also expressed its readiness to propel Rivers State to greater heights, but most importantly, for security of lives and properties. There's no fight in Rivers State. There's nothing going on to warrant any declaration of state of emergency, but it's been declared. Here is the administrator speaking to the people of Rivers State. Where is Fubara? Wait. Why are the people of Rivers State currently so quiet? Don't get me wrong, go. It seems that majority of the people reacting to this constitutional violation, they are mostly from outside Rivers State. Fubara, where is Fubara? Why are the people of Rivers State not asking where is Fubara? Because everything just seems calm. Anyway, their new administrator and his message.
My mandate is clear: to restore law and order, stabilize the polity, and to create the necessary conditions for the full restoration of democratic institutions and representation. This is not a task for one man alone. Success will depend on the collective effort of all Rivers people, elders, political leaders, traditional rulers, faith leaders, youth, women, the media, and civil society. I do not come as a partisan actor, nor as a competitor in the struggles that have brought us to this moment. I come as a servant of the state, entrusted with the solemn duty of restoring peace and order so that Rivers State can move forward once again and reclaim its rightful place as the oil and gas capital of Nigeria, and I dare say Africa. My role here is to ensure that the lives and livelihoods of our people are not held hostage by crisis and instability.
Like, I don't understand. There is no breakdown of law and order in Rivers State. None. Even when this pronouncement or declaration is made, there is no real reaction per se. Yeah?